Hey guys, Shot the Monkey here. So we're back again, another video, another day, 3 in a row. Hopefully this is something that I can keep up with for the entirety of the year, but I have a feeling I will very quickly be unable to hold myself to that. Anyway, so, we're at Warplanes again, and this time we're looking at the Tier 5 Tech Tree British multi-role fighter, the Hurricane Mark II. This follows on from the Hurricane Mark I at Tier 4. And I have to say this as much as I don't want to say it because I love the Hurricane. God, this thing at Tier 5 is a pig. It really reflects history in feeling incredibly outdated, which the Hurricane in real life felt was incredibly, the Hurricane in real life was incredibly outdated very quickly. It's just not an aircraft that has aged or scaled well. Even when compared to other Tier 5 multi-role fighters of the other nations in the game, but you especially feel that if you're pushed up into Tier 6 matches against Tier 6 multi-roles, and even more so, Tier 6 air superiority fighters, you just get annihilated, because it's not an aircraft that can really perform without its team, or the team that you're on, being there in some manner, be it their ability to capture and hold other objectives, or to help you capture and hold an objective that you have taken part in capturing. And it's such an awful experience if you're in games that, like the ones I had, where I went for I think 5 matches in a row on a single day, and I was just so incredibly salty by the end of it, because I think it was 4 really good defeats. Good defeats on behalf of my performance, but terrible on behalf of how well our team did. And then 1 game where I didn't feel like I did as well. But of course then the 1 game that I do poorly and individually the team wins, so the first one of the day bonus is wasted on it. Which, is a shame, but that's what happens. Back to the aircraft then. It's not one I want to recommend that people play through. If you really don't mind being the underdog when it comes to any situation that you are in a solo 1 versus 1 engagement with most aircraft, you might get along with it. If you just love the aircraft for loving the aircraft and you're not too bothered about grinding through the tech tree to get to the tornado and progress down the line, then again it may be for you. But if you are either one of those 2 things is true, that you're not playing the aircraft because you like it, or you're playing the aircraft because you're grinding the line, this is one to miss. This really is. Because even when fully upgraded with the best engine and the best airframe and the 20mm cannons and the rockets on board, even without the rockets, your airspeed lacks, your manoeuvrability lacks. There is never a time in which I've felt comfortable engaging other fighters and even some multi-roles that weren't otherwise busy with somebody else or pretty much dead by the time I started putting the guns to them. And it's a shame because it should be a nice aircraft, and it was. But here it isn't. It's just not in an environment where it performs well, even against the Focke-Wulf 190A1s, the XP44s, and those aircraft, and P40s as well, the premium one the Russians have got, which is the multi-role. But if you go up against like A5s, Tornadoes, P47s, F4U Corsairs, Yak 9s, forget about it. Forget about it. They will walk all over you. The only thing you can really do effectively in Tier 6 games with the cannons on this thing is take out Japanese aircraft. And even then, if they're actively avoiding your fire in a dogfight with you, you're not going to be taking them out, they'll be taking you out. And they won't have difficulty doing it either. Because you don't even have the hit points to back up the fact that you lack airspeed and or manoeuvrability versus everything you're fighting against. Even if you don't have the rockets on board reducing both of those. So, yeah. Not an aircraft I'm going to keep after I've done researching through it. Not an aircraft I'd recommend playing through if you're actually trying to grind through the line and you want an enjoyable experience. Because the Hurricane at Tier 4, man, is great. I still love the Hurricane at Tier 4, but Tier 5 it just doesn't do well. And it's a shame. Because, being British, you'd think I'd love the Spitfires, but I detest hearing about them so much. And I so wanted to be able to fly an aircraft that wasn't a Spitfire that would do well. I have a feeling fortunes will change in the future when I get to the Tornado, and then the Tempest beyond that. I think this has just been, the one-off that's just not that great of an aircraft in this line. At least I hope that's the case. And again, it's a shame, but that might just be the way it is. As for how you fly this thing, you have to pretty much turn fight everything, because you don't have the airspeed. And if you can't turn fight whatever you're engaged with, you certainly probably won't outrun it. So any fight you get into, you have to win, or accept that at some point you're going to die. And that's just the way this aircraft is. Because it doesn't have enough of a shining, like, feature about it. There's no particular forte in which it's, you know, really impressive. It's just there. And it's middling, it's average, and it's okay. And I hate the fact that I have to call the Hurricane 2 just okay. But that's what it is. Anyway guys, enough of me waffling. Hope you enjoy the rest of the footage I've got lined up for you in this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Oh yeah, and as a little aside, even though it may have many faults, as prescribed to it by me and my opinion of it, I dare you to tell me that the Hurricane Mark II in desert camouflage is not the sexiest looking aircraft at Tier 5. Dare you. I dare you to find me a better looking aircraft, because you won't. You won't.
Military base is launching strikes on the enemy. This will make things easier for you. Military bases are under our control. The enemy will be defeated. That's it. There's no way to break through for you now. You're on your own. positions are captured by the enemy. You must turn the tide of the battle. Our military base is launching strikes on the enemy. This will make things easier for you. Step it up. We're losing the battle. Turn back. The enemy force is too strong.